playback.
If you wanna, then you oughta start a conversation.
I was looking for an idea that would really embrace the diversity of what's happening in cinema right now, which is so exciting. I have a background in dance as well, so I was looking for something that would encapsulate and lean into probably the strongest thing in dance right now, K-pop.
The idea behind this test was really to take the Venice 2 and the Burano and see how they really work together. Because when I'm working on a movie, there's always a requirement for a sort of smaller body that has that versatility, whether I'm sort of doing handheld or like we're doing here on the Ronin, just be a little more freewheeling.
The concept of the whole video is a dance battle between two teams, and they end up being transported into this amazing working studio. It's a movie set, and while they're doing the dance battle, we reference iconic images of cinema. I thought it would be really exciting if we made it like a screen test and a what-if screen test. What if Brando was actually an Iranian actor? What if the Uma Thurman character in Pulp Fiction had actually been a Chinese-Australian actress?
When Unjoo and I were talking about this concept, both in terms of what we wanted to sort of achieve artistically and also what we thought would be a good way to push the cameras, we devised the very sort of saturated world from quite high key all the way through to black and white, a sort of almost noir style. I was certainly interested in seeing the camera work across that range of looks.
We really wanted to do something that encapsulated the spirit of this new camera. And when I heard Tushar's song, Original, I just thought it was so perfect. I think that the whole spirit of this camera is about originality and about giving the creator freedom.
With this one, we went in hard. We wanted that punctuated look. And Unjoo wanted a very dynamic style, very fast cutting. And not only that, but we'd sort of called for the sort of reframing that she wanted to do, which means we would shoot a sequence and then in post, she would reframe, giving her the ability to sort of cut on action, sort of match cut. And that also creates part of that style. It's really why we sort of like this as a format, this sort of K-pop dance video, because you can really play with a lot of looks. The camera's moving all the time, classic camera moves as well as handheld, Ronin, and then just the sort of straight handheld coverage. So, we allowed ourselves to sort of play in a lot of areas in order to just see what the camera was capable of.
What we've been shooting today has been a really good test of handheld gimbal work. I've been hustling probably as much as I would on any other job and just pushing with speed, with trying to keep that precision, and I'm maintaining the precision. This is going to be a really great tool for gimbal operators.
I think my overall impressions, it was very mobile, you can do a lot of handheld stuff, I got to play with it handheld. I really enjoyed it. Also, I think it worked really well with a low light, shooting in a dark soundstage. The visuals came out really nicely, really crisp, and I didn't see any grain, so I thought it was really good. It was a really good experience.
Working with dynamic, heightened color can get a little messy, particularly as you move between strong primary colors, which is what Unjoo wanted in this. You can get into a situation where you're stretching and it's breaking and bleeding. We had very big, powerful units pulsing and on cues, and so we were in a very stretched dynamic range purposefully. And for me, that was very much part of what I wanted to see in both the Venice 2 and the Burano. How will the dynamic range of the camera hold up? The Burano, the sensor held up well. Moving through the edit, you were really not aware that you were moving from the Venice 2 sensor to the Burano sensor, back to the Venice 2 sensor. That compatibility across the dynamic range, color interpretation, all of those things are important for me when I'm sort of putting a package together and trying to complement a sort of bigger sensor camera like the Venice 2 with the Burano. These two sensors, these two looks really sort of fall in line with one another.
Oh my gosh, we're a family business. Dion and I went to film school together, so it's something very, very natural for us. What's really fun in this situation is being able to utilize the latest technology with somebody like Axel, who's about to start film school. He's a filmmaker in his own right. And I just think that having those two generations perfectly encapsulates what this Sony camera is about.